to LA. That's why I was gone last week. Do you have any questions about it? I don't think we've actually really had a proper conversation about it so far.
No, well, I was sort of like, well, I think I asked you like why you guys wanted to go, but you kind of answered that. What was your favorite part of the trip?
Seeing Crit, of course.
Okay. Well, I meant like, what was your favorite thing to do? I meant.
Well, I've been asked that question as soon as I got back. I was asked that question, and I said that. And he was like, "Good. If you hadn't said that, I was gonna give you a hard time for it." My favorite part, I think it was probably all of the mascot encounters that we had at Disney. Those were a lot of fun. But we went to Medieval Times as well, which was like dinner and a show where they have these knights, and then there's like a princess or queen, and there's just like whole narrative, and then they do like jousting games, and they beat the shit out of each other. It's all very staged, it's all very choreographed, but it was a good time.
Was that part of Disney, or was that something else?
No, it's a thing called Medieval Times.
Oh, gotcha. So it's, where was that? Was that just like in a building or something?
Yeah, it's a franchise thing. They have like 4 of them.
Oh, crazy. Okay. Didn't know.
Yeah.
It looked fun. Cool.
It was pretty cool. We were on Blue Team, our night 1, which was sick. Got a picture with him. It's on screen.
Yeah, I saw that. Put it on screen.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did shopping, we went to Disney and spent literally all day there.
Did you buy a lot of shit?
She bought more stuff than I did.
Yeah.
I mostly paid for like
food
Ubers
and stuff,
and food and stuff like that.
You didn't do a lot of shopping.
Well, there wasn't a lot to be found. It wasn't until I didn't find anything worth buying until the end of Disney. Like the last stop before we went to get dinner, and then we had a ride after that, and then we left at the end of the night. Found a Stormtrooper and Rebel Trooper 2-pack, found Palpatine. Those were the only things I bought at Disney besides Represent.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
Got a Captain America shirt. And
you didn't get Mickey ears? What the hell?
No, didn't get Mickey ears.
That's a shame.
And then at a Target, we found Movie Shadow and a Star Wars droid pack. So we got those. But yeah, and I didn't buy a whole lot. Not as much as I thought I would.
Well, it's probably better for your wallet, obviously.
I was still broke at the end of the trip anyway. It made no difference.
I would assume there's no way that trip is not going to make you go broke by the end of it. Yeah. Especially you do Disneyland or Disney World. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We did Disneyland. World is Florida.
Disneyland. Gotcha.
And then we also did California Adventure Park, which is Disneyland, and then it's Disney California Adventure. They're next to each other.
You guys, what time did you guys get? How long were you? You guys were there for a long time, too.
We got there after 8 a.m.
Okay.
And because they open at 8. So we got there after that, and then we were there. Let's see when I took the last peak trip.
I remember you talking about it. It was pretty late, I think.
We were there till like close to 10 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was a lot of. We only did 3 rides. It was mostly just a lot of walking. It was hot. We went into Disneyland. We went all the way through from the main area to like Castletown or whatever it's called, and then went into Toontown, and then came back and we went through Frontierland? Yeah, that's like the Wild West sort of area.
Gotcha.
And then into Galaxy's Edge. And then we came all the way back and crossed over, and that was 3 o'clock by the time we got out of Disneyland.
Goddamn.
Went over to California Adventure. We went through there. Went to Avengers Campus. We went to San Francisco. Then we went to Pixar Pier. Then we circled sort of all the way back. Then went to downtown Disney. Had a had a battery scare because her phone was at like 14% and my phone was getting real low too. And we didn't bring chargers, so we had to scramble around, try to find somebody with a charger. We ended up having to go out to the Disney Hotel, charge, and then we came back, did that last minute shopping, went to dinner, all the way back in Frontierland in Disneyland Park, and then we did Indiana Jones, the ride, and then we left.
Yeah, that was a fatal mistake not bringing the charger. You gotta remember that. That'll do it. I'm just mad that you don't do vlogs, man, because I would have paid good money to see that. Because I would have been vlogging that shit, man.
Yeah, I took a lot of pictures. A lot of pictures.
You did.
So for mascots, we went to, it was like Minnie's breakfast diner or whatever. And so we got tables, we sat down, Crit walked off to go get a picture with Minnie, and then to get her food. And while she was gone, Tigger and Pooh came out the door and started working their way through the crowd. So I saw Tigger, and then eventually Crit came back with her food. We were eating, and I hear like a yelp to my right because she was sitting right there. And I look over, and she's right here. Daisy is right here, just staring at her. She's completely silent, snuck up on her. I'd start busting out laughing, and then I go for a picture, and Daisy like lunges onto my shoulder and knocks my hat back. And then when she pulled away from the picture, my hat flew away, and she had to scramble to grab it. It was great.
Daisy's feeling violence lately. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Pooh came around. I got a picture with him. Let me get this right. Disney. Just Okay, good. So Dale came around. Chip and Dale. Dale is the one with the red nose and the separated teeth.
Yeah.
Was not conscious of that difference at the time, and there's a reason. Dale came around, ignored him. Chip came around, came up to Crit, and I forget what the exact how it started was, but she was making reservations for dinner, and then Chip was like interested, and she mentioned that just for dinner, and Chip was like, for you two, and she said yes, and then Chip went like, for us two, and I was like, all right, easy there. And then Chip started making moves on me.
Oh wow. Chip does not. Chip is.
And then Chip was gonna walk away, and I was like, all right, hold on. Can you tell me? Because I didn't know the difference, and neither did Crit at the moment. Are you Chip? And I went like this. Are you Chip or Dale? Just like to point at which hand. And Chip went. Pulled up a chair, sat down, tried getting me to guess, and I was like, all right, I'm Dale. And it was just... Then started pointing at my phone, trying to get me to look up the difference.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
He's interrogating you. What the hell?
Yeah, he gave me a silent lecture, because they don't speak.
They don't speak, yeah, that's crazy. So he's just like sitting there like miming shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Then we got a picture with Pluto, who Crit kept calling Goofy. Gave her a hard time about that.
Pluto's just a guy walking around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not lore accurate.
Yeah. Just
Pluto doesn't
a
do
man
that.
in a Pluto suit, walking on two legs.
That's not lore accurate. Like, I didn't know you could walk Pluto. It's messed up.
We bumped into Pinocchio, who was like really just like had a herd of kids and was leading them around.
Oh wow.
We bumped into Merida, who I wanted to get a picture with. She had like crazy eyes, like big, wide blue eyes, like very intense look on her face. Yeah. But she, as soon as we saw her, she wandered off with a bunch of kids. Then we went and we got in line for an hour to see the princesses. Before that, we did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Very strange ride. You get into this little two-person car, and then it starts throwing you around as you go through a mansion, and there's like people like trashing the mansion, and then you go through a swamp, and there's police officers telling you to stop. Then you go through a courtroom, and you get charged guilty. Then you go to fucking hell. And then you see the devil version of the judge, and then you come around a corner, and there's a fucking dragon. And also, when you get into the hell section, it's super humid immediately. It's very hot in there. So we go through...
What is this for?
It's called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Is that a movie? Is that a thing? Or is that made up?
Based on an animated movie. The animated movie does not involve going to hell...
Somebody went crazy with that. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a wild ride for sure. So then we got in line for the princesses. Waited an hour. But they were like crazy. It was crazy experience. No,
they were crazy.
It was
they were
very strange.
Really?
Because they're like they're the kind of people that know how to like just slip right in through the cracks immediately and just get you to like feel comfortable and lower your guard very quickly. Very strange, because I've never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
But they were a lot of fun to talk to. Have you heard the news story of the scientists who used a color in Cheeto or in Dorito dust to turn rats' skin invisible?
Yeah.
We were Anna was talking about Olaf trying to get a suntan, and Crit was like, "Oh, just roll him in Dorito dust," and like gave me like a side look because we had joked about that earlier. It was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good time. Then after that, though, didn't get to really do any mascot interaction. On the way out of the park, we passed Tiana from Princess and the Frog. We didn't want a picture with her.
We don't want a picture with you.
Princess and the Frog is not. I don't know. I mean, I like the what's his name, the villain of the movie, but the rest of the movie is whatever.
Yeah.
We went to Disney California Adventure. Oh no! Before then, we went to Galaxy's Edge. Didn't see anybody. Oh no, we bumped into Ray. That was good. I came out of a shop and she was right there in front of me. So that was a shock because it was like super dark in the shop, and then you step out into the light, and as my eyes adjust, she's just there.
Yeah.
But so that was fun, and then we went and did the Falcon ride, and then after that, we went towards the stage where Kylo Ren's ship is. And as we were approaching, there was an Imperial officer on the stage. But then as we like passed a group of people, she's gone. She's not there anymore.
Wow.
So that was a shame. We got some blue and green milk, and then I went to use the restroom. While I was in the restroom, Kylo Ren came by, past Crit, and went on stage. And I saw he was like trying to rush to get out of the restroom. By the time I got out, he was gone.
Oh no.
As I stepped out of the door to the restroom, 2 stormtroopers were walking by, and they passed me, and so I was trying to trail behind them, but they were already beelining it straight to their exit so they could go for their break or whatever.
Yeah.
So that sucked. Then we went all the way over to to Avengers Campus. We caught a bit of a show with Black Widow and Captain America and Taskmaster, but they were up on the balcony, so can't interact with them. Is it gone?
You got it. Let's go.
Friday, seal off main entry port.
Yes, Ms. Romanov. Main entry port security.
You know how to use that thing?
I got it.
Stay down. I said I could do this all day.
Looking for this?
That's right.
You know how
You're running. Did your father teach you?
Right.
Then we walked around and we saw Loki. Loki was taking pictures. But he was wrapping up his pictures so that he could go take a break. So they wouldn't let us get a picture with him. I just got a picture of him. We sat down. He walked off.
Everyone's
was
booking it, man.
That was it. I think we saw Pluto one more time,
Nice.
and that was it.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, I was hoping, because I was like, I had jokes I wanted to. Why are you calling me? Leave me alone. I had jokes I wanted to say, like, to the Imperial officer. I was gonna be like, hey, officer, good evening. Are any of your fine troopers on patrol today? I just want to thank them for their hard work. I was gonna say that, and then I wanted to say to Loki, like, hey man, you're wonderful and all, but you always got to give your brother such a hard time. You know, they were having a fun little interaction. But no, I didn't get any of that.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian, private joker.
They were all booking it. They saw you and were like, let's get the hell out of here.
So, oh shit, it's this guy.
He's gonna make jokes. That's crazy. I honestly don't know if I would be comfortable walking up to all those people like that. But I guess that's part of the experience.
It is,
I would be like,
so by the time we did Downtown Disney, we went to the Lego store. They were all sold out of the D&D minifigures, because of course they were. We came back around for dinner. just so dead.
Yeah.
My shoulders were aching from my bag because it wasn't the kind of bag that you should be like wearing for a really long time if you got stuff in it. It's heavy. It got to the point where I was eating dinner and I just stopped and I had the fork right here. And I was like, just thinking about moving the 2 inches. It's just so much work.
Yeah. That's no good.
And then after that, we did the most violent ride possible in the Indiana Jones ride.
That was a bad idea.
Yeah, but like I felt the obligation to have to go on it. So we're riding this ride, and Crit's getting like PTSD, like flashbacks to a bad ride experience she had. At one point, it takes a sharp turn, and my ass lifts out of the seat. So I'm trying to hold on to her, make her feel as safe as possible with one hand on the bar. They say early on, like, tuck your stuff away real tight because it will fly out and it will be gone. They're not lying. I wanted to videotape it, but if my phone wasn't taped to my hand, it would be gone.
Yeah, it would be gone.
Welcome, my friends, to the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. I, Sama, shall now give you counsel to safeguard your miraculous journey. Here in your transportation devices are ingenious pouches for safekeeping all earthly treasures when the journey becomes bumpy. And to keep you safe and sound, here are special belts attached into the seats. Simply pull it from the right, inserting it into the left, like so. You see the excellence of this invention? Your off-road journey is high speed and turbulent, going over rough and rugged terrain, and then suddenly you are turning sharply and dropping suddenly.
Gonna be a bumpy one.
Unlike anything you have ever experienced, I assure you. Now, my friend, one final word of advice. Once you have entered the chamber of destiny, look not into the eyes of the idol. That would be dangerous. Very dangerous. Well, my friends, your moment is drawing near. Already I am envious of the wonders that await you, if you avoid the eyes of Allah.
Yeah.
So then we did that. She felt like she was going to puke. She had to do her inhaler. We sat down for a minute, and then we just had to leave. People were like a massive crowd waiting for like fireworks and stuff to go off, and we were just trying to get through.
Like, get out of my way. You're like pushing them aside.
I didn't have the energy for that, though. It was just so dead. It was just like,
You're just like sinking into the crowd, like
just stumbling,
lumbering around. Yeah, like you just saw war.
Yeah, and we got out, and we got into the Uber, and we just died. It was just done.
It was probably that sleep was probably really nice that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine just passing out.
Yeah, just crashed. Just absolutely crashed. Yeah. So that, I mean, then we had, that was Wednesday, then we had Thursday, Friday. We just had 2 chill days. I think we went shopping on Thursday, and then for the rest of it, we just hung out.
Not bad.
Woo.
Not bad at all.
Good time.
Good trip.
I missed Crit very dearly, but...
And you made my trip seem like a freaking footnote, like it now is like nothing compared to that one.
Well, it was different because with your trips, we did something almost every day.
That's true.
But then we had like the beginning of the day or the end of the day was chill. This one, it was, we got there. We had Sunday was chill. Monday we went to the Fabric District. Tuesday was mostly chill until Tuesday night when we did Medieval Times. Wednesday was Disney.
I gotcha.
And then also we arrived on Saturday, so arriving was chill, you know.
Right.
And then it was Thursday, Friday was chill.
Gotcha. That's fair. That is fair.
So, yeah. And plus, you know, driving everywhere costs money because it was just Uber.
Oh yeah.
Time, so.
And I'm sure they charge a pretty penny over there too.
Yeah, it racked up, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But okay. that's enough of my story time. Welcome to the All Things Geeks podcast. My name is Tyler, also known as Bionic Kasai, and I am joined by the lovely man whose name starts with a B.
Braden, or Renzolian.
And we have a good episode. Sadly, it's just the two of us. That's fair. But to begin, let's kick off with a little update. The Thunderbolts trailer that we talked about early when it was potato quality came out properly with an extra scene at the very end. I also put up a poster where I get a nice juicy look at John Walker's shield.
You do, and Sentry's sixth finger.
No, it's not a sixth finger.
No, I know. People are genuinely thinking that. It's not just. It wasn't just that.
Context clues, my guys. There's 4 fingertips. There's 4 finger bases.
I know. No, I'm kidding. A lot of people have been thinking that too.
People are just silly billies.
They are. It was good. It's a good trailer.
It's such a good trailer. The movie looks so good. Better than it has any right to with the team that we've got.
Exactly.
But at the very end, they added a scene where Bucky is riding on the motorcycle behind them in the car, and John's like, "Is that Bucky?" And then he shoots the weird disc launcher.
A bionicle ass.
It's like a
disc
fucking
launcher.
bionicle ass disc launcher that magnetizes to the bottom of a car and makes it explode.
Yeah.
Then he shoots that, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then presumably shenanigans occur.
Yeah.
The car flips over, but that's pretty much the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
Still looks great. I'm still very excited. They added the only character who got added lines to the trailer was John Walker. So he's
happy about that.
Character. He's just
Look, man.
he's just the best character in the MCU anymore.
I'm still not sure how to feel about this movie. I can't definitively say that I'm super excited yet, but I thought the trailer was fun. This could go one or two ways. This could be good, or this could be, you know. I don't think it'll be bad. I think it'll be that's the line that I'm drawing. But it looks fun.
I think it could either be cool or really good. I think that's what we're saying now. It'll either be a cool action movie or a really good movie.
And you'll be there like, okay, like that was entertaining, or it might be like, what? Look, a couple surprises.
Did some interesting character stuff in this one. Interesting.
Yeah, you're just saying that because you're like, John Walker's got his boy now, and you're like,
he's got his whiny little baby boy who he ignores.
I hope he takes the
baby himself.
I mean, that's true. He's a loser. He's like, what are they saying about me?
He's me.
What are they saying about me? What the hell?
But yeah, I'm so excited. It looks really good. Bucky has a stupid, awful haircut. Bucky
puts his arm in the dishwasher.
He does.
Which is, I can already smell the comments being like, that's so unrealistic. It's like, it's a metal robot arm.
Fucking
you moron.
Dishwashers don't clean things 100%, Bucky. There's going to be
food
and gunk and shit in the inner workings of your shoulder. And it's going to rot, and it's going to stink.
His arm's going to get stuck during the fight, and he's like, what the hell? And you notice a little piece of lettuce hanging out, and he's like, not for burger night. He's like, no!
I knew I should have done a second wash!
Exactly.
Stupid.
Yeah, it looks good. No major
Good.
complaints.
I'm very excited. Last week you guys talked about the Penguin episode. Quick thoughts, I don't have much to say. Looks good. Colin Farrell, of course, excellent. I don't know the actress's name, but playing Sophia Falcone, excellent. Very cool. We get to see Penguin's deformed foot, and his mom calls him a little pussy boy, and that's hell yeah.
I get why Aiden was calling it the show about me now. I totally get it.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it
yet. Yeah. His mom calls him a little pussy boy. Good show. I'm excited to see more. Stupid release schedule.
Yeah, I don't. Now, it's really gonna mess with our recordings now. I don't really know, because we're gonna have to backtrack every week. So last week when the Penguin episode released, you know.
It's at the start of the week, technically.
It is, but it's before the episode comes out, so it's really annoying. It's like while we're editing it, so it doesn't it's very It's just moronic.
Very nonsensical. Agatha episode 1 and 2 came out. Episode 1.
Yes.
I get Thatch's complaints with the television format, because they do the first episode is like a crime procedural. Once they get through that though, it's fun. Second episode I enjoyed quite a bit because they have like a musical number and they're singing and there's this creepy shit happening with these witches that are crawling around like twitching and stuff. And third episode is also a lot of fun. Everyone gets like weird Botox prosthetics at one point. And then just a bitch dies. Straight up dead. Cool. So that's fun. It's just a fun time. So it's pretty fun so far. Apparently, Mephisto name drop. That was cool in episode 3. Hopefully
now people can finally shut up about it.
Well, I'd like to see him,
True. But at least he's finally been mentioned.
Supposedly Agatha murdered her baby to get the Darkhold.
Jesus.
Shows how that worked out for you, bitch.
Yeah.
And there's this interesting plot line with the teenager who can't say his name. As far as I understand, there's Funko Pops that have leaked who it is. I don't know the leaks. I don't know spoilers, so I'm interested to find out. But people are saying.
Well, I think I know who it is.
So yeah, I mean it's interesting. I'm looking forward to more. I did not think I was gonna like it as much as I am so far. So hopefully it keeps up with the fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about something not fun.
Okay. Get ready for Ty to rant in a way that he's never ranted before.
So, almost a year ago, as of November of last year, I watched JJK Season 2. Got into it. The first arc really sold me. Unlike the first season could not have. And then watched the rest of the season. It was all really cool stuff, really great stuff. So then I started following the manga as of this year. And, I came into the manga after Gojo had already died. Because he died in the manga at the same time that he was sealed in the anime. So I was following it, and there was always, the person... There's two people that I was following with it. One of them made, constant videos. One of them made a video, once a week if a chapter came out. The constant one, bless his heart, very well intended. He was great to watch. Constant theories. Constant theories about hints and teases and potential clues to a Gojo return. Obviously, Gege hates Gojo because his wife told him she'd rather fuck Gojo than him.
I'd buy it.
I mean, he said that. He said that she said that, so...
Did he actually?
He did, yeah.
This is dead serious? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't those words, obviously, but
right.
It was something like, my wife said if Gojo was real, she'd rather date him.
Okay, yeah, that probably set him off.
Yeah, a little bit, I'm sure. So, the most popular anime character of all time kills him off. All these teases. Everybody wants him to come back. Then the thing happens. We have an episode on it. It's called Gojo No More. And then after that, it's just been kind of a... It
was like... Well, I feel... Well, for you, yeah. I was going to say, it feels more like a...
No, it was... For me, it was...
Straight down? They were cool. Oh, okay, yeah.
There was one... It was the Yuji thing.
Yeah. Well,
But-
every time I got to see Yuji do something, I was always happy. But this is about your experience, so yeah. Keep going.
I mean, Yuji, he was always the highlight, but
Mm-hmm.
then we get into the final 5 chapters as of last month, and there we end the fight with Yuji just punching Sukuna in the gut, and then Megami just falls out of him and he turns into a puddle. And then they have their letters, which is cute, from Gojo, and then they're like, oh, we gotta save Yuta. Alright, so then we get into the final 3 chapters. They go to save Yuta from Maki, who's angry at him for no justifiable reason. He's in his own body again. No mention of what happened or how, other than Rika was healing his body. That's it. Spend the entire 3rd chapter talking about the Sukuna fight. Every single step and why it had to be that way. Didn't need any of that. Spend the last of that chapter, 10 pages, talking about fucking Kusakabe's school and Mei
Some weird ass lore.
down the head of that school and fucking binding vows on why people couldn't learn the thing from that school, which was not introduced at all. Didn't matter. Nobody thought that was the case. Nobody was wondering what was the case. People just assumed that they taught them the thing.
Yeah.
So we spend an entire chapter on nothing. Then we get to the second to last chapter. Maki talks to some people who were barely relevant earlier. They go away. Fucking... God, I'm blanking.
There's the whole mission that they go on.
Yeah, that's mostly the last chapter.
Is it? I don't remember. I mean, I remember when it came out, but I definitely don't remember now.
So Maki talks to some people. That doesn't really matter. They fucking Gakuganji talks to some people. That doesn't really matter. They talk about Yuji and Angel are like trying to stop the rest of the coin game incarnated players. Doesn't matter because they mention it, they don't show it. Megami says that he's gonna be Angel's right arm from now on. She thinks he's proposing. He's not. Doesn't matter.
There's the comedian
Takaba, the comedian, gets 2 panels. He's talking to someone whose face is obscured and whose haircut is exactly Geto's or Kenjaku's. Doesn't matter. The sugar guy, who was a friend of Yuji's from high school, who maybe used his sugar power to restart Nobura's brain. It's not made clear, but they imply something like that may have happened. Doesn't matter. Talks to a guy from across the street and says, "I'm sorry for bullying you." Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There is a woman who sees her boyfriend with big old bug eyes, and the team is sent to investigate. Chapter ends. Final chapter. The team investigates. They deduce over way too many pages. It can't be this, 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 or this. Has to be this. Well, we can't do this, 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 or this. To find him, have to do this. We find him. Why weren't you... Who are you? Why are you? What? Gone. Doesn't matter. Flashback to Gojo. Yuji's like, hey, Gojo's saying stuff, and Yuji's like, hey, Gojo, well, what's wrong with you? You seem a little off. And Gojo's like, nah, I'm confident. Doesn't matter. We wrap that up. It's over. final scene. Sorry. Second to final scene. Sukuna is talking to motherfucking Mahito in the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Sukuna's like, you know what? If I ever get a second chance in life, I'm gonna do it different. And Mahito's like, what? So I'm alone forever? Wham! Move on. 3 panels showing the final characters doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. Final page. The original box at Yuji's school, where the finger was held, that we never actually see the finger in, we're only just told that Yuji found it there. There's a new finger there, it's Sukuna's final finger.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the end.
That's it.
It's over. Doesn't fucking matter. There's a theme across all 3 chapters. In fact, there's a theme across all 5 chapters. Because Sukuna dies, turns into a puddle, doesn't matter. They put fucking the remains of what's-his-nuts, Tengen, where it used to be. Doesn't matter. They just... they say so many things that don't matter. They introduce new things that don't matter. What was the point of anything? It all felt so empty. There was no point to any of it. The most resolution you got was the letters from Gojo. You could have had that, gone to see Yuta, see he's okay. Had the scene with... Also, there was a scene with... What's her name? The woman from Hidden Inventory. Does Gojo get to her? She's the
Shoko.
medic. Shoko.
Gotcha.
There's a scene with Shoko and Megami because she buried his sister, burned her body.
Yeah.
Whatever. You could have had the letters, Yuta, that ending. Didn't need to be all the bullshit in between. That would have been more rushed, would have been less nonsense. Because that's just really what this is. It was nonsense.
Yeah.
It was just a whole lot of nothing. It was...
Yeah.
It mattered. Everything that they do mattered in the ending as much as Gambling Guy versus Urame. Which didn't matter because we cut to them standing across from each other once, standing across from each other twice, she dies.
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah.
It's just... It was all, like, really fucking pointless. We spend 60 chapters fighting Sukuna. For...
Nothing.
He just gets punched in the stomach and Megami falls out of him, and then...
He has a change of heart.
Then he's like, you know what? I'll do it better next time.
Despite
Before
the fact that he was like... Yeah.
Yuji gets him in his domain, gives him his entire life story, and he's like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. And then when he after he dies, then he's like, oh, you know what? That was kind of cringe. Can we do this again?
Don't tell me that he learned a lesson, because no, he fucking didn't.
He doesn't learn lessons.
In one-on-one combat to prove that he wasn't the strongest. Took 30 people, 60 chapters to kick his ass slowly, bit by bit, until finally he just gave up.
Yeah. This is a pretty historically bad ending. Where to the point where I think... Yeah, everyone is mad. I don't think there's a single person who's been like, I really like this ending. It's pretty bad.
The guy that I followed.
Really? He liked it?
Yeah, he likes it.
Oh.
I respect his opinion, but I disagree. I respectfully disagree. I think this ending is worse than the Full Metal Alchemist anime ending. Not Brotherhood. The made-up Nazi Germany alternate reality ending.
I'm not gonna get into that.
I think that's better than this. To be honest. At least that got a movie afterwards to resolve everything.
True. I do like that ending though, so I'm not going to. I'm not gonna get into it.
I know you do, because you're sick in the head.
I'm sick in the head. Yeah, it's pretty historically bad. People were hating on the My Hero ending, but after seeing this, is like that actually got resolutions that made sense.
My Hero had an objectively good ending, and I don't give a shit about My Hero.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy to just see them drop the ball when you had 5 chapters to wrap everything up. And at least, if you were gonna go the Disney Channel route of having everyone survive, just commit to it. Don't have an entire... This mission that they introduced...
Have Gojo walk through that motherfucking door
Yep.
with a stitch on his thumb and be like, hey!
Because you already proved you don't care about that.
Yeah.
Because you brought back so many characters.
You know, fucking have Gojo and Sukuna sharing a beer in the afterlife or something. You know, if you're gonna have say that he had a change of heart,
Right.
and he'll be like, you know what, you were the strongest. I cheated or something.
I cheated. I lied.
I cheated.
That seems right, guys. If you want a better JJK experience, just go watch the video we made. You're gonna get a lot more value out of that than the ending.
Oh my god! Go watch the video we made,
Ty.
or read up until the fake out where it says Gojo wins, and then just stop.
Just stop. And then like you have to Frankenstein a weird ending out of the ending that you have. Just take all the best parts that don't include anything about Gojo, and then just like say that he
just commission someone to draw Gojo in those panels, and that's it.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have to make our own fucking ending at this point.
Seriously,
it seems like.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I feel bad for you, Ty. You really got into this series, and it feels like a real middle finger.
It does.
Of an experience. So it's a bit shitty, but what's he gonna do next? JJK2?
Probably some fucking idol manga or something.
Probably. You never know. Or he'll commit. I think he always wanted to do a horror series, so maybe he gets to do what he wants to do now.
Yeah.
It's very clearly he didn't want to do this.
I rewatched the Minecraft movie trailer today because I had to. I was sitting in a theater.
Oh.
That made me feel less bad than talking about this did. Yeah, I watched Minecraft movie trailer, and the very next trailer was Sonic 3D.
Okay, so that helped, probably. Because you're probably like, oh.
I was like,
and then you're like,
oh, Dad, get ready for the worst trailer of your life. And then I did, and I was like, all right, get ready for the best trailer of your life.
Had he seen it up until that point?
No, God, no.
Oh, so that was his first reaction. What did he think? Was he like sitting there
he didn't
going
say
like
anything other than is that Jason Momoa? No, it's not. And I was like, yes, it is.
That is the most like normal reaction to that trailer. It's like,
we didn't talk about it.
Fair enough.
Anyway, good news. Ghost of Yote was announced, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which looks very good. In parts, it does look like Ghost of Tsushima again. Like some of the visuals are very pretty, but look the same. But the story should be very cool. It does give me like Blue Eye Samurai vibes, where the protagonist is a woman who seems to be on some sort of revenge quest. But Blue Eye Samurai is a cool show. I've only watched one episode, but still looks good. Looks really good. It comes out next year, so it's gonna be pretty sick.
Nope.
Moving on. Sonic Central happened. Sonic Central 2024.
It did. There's a very exaggerated. Where do we begin, man? There's so much stuff.
Let's start with the new Collector's Jack Specific Shadow figure.
Yes, they did a new collector figure. Probably gonna be
6-inch or something like that. I don't know.
Yes, it's probably gonna be ridiculously overpriced because he has giant wings.
And he has a display base.
Yeah.
It'll either be very overpriced or it will become very overpriced because it will be exceptionally hard to get.
Yes. It looks good. I mean, I would buy it. It's really going to depend on that price. If it's if it's over 80, then I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
But if it's
I've got the Nendroid Shadow on pre-order, so I don't need this, but it does look very similar.
Yeah, he does.
Comes with the Black Doom wings, which is cool.
Yes.
Just super dope.
Talk about the Lego sets next.
Yes, we got 2 Lego sets. We got Shadow versus the BioLizard, also with
Super
Sonic.
Shadow versus the BioLizard.
Super Shadow, sorry.
Yeah.
And then there's just a little Sonic set with 2 robots that are attacking him, and he's pissed off.
They're slated for next year, and there is supposed to be one more set revealed that will probably get closer towards the end of this year.
I hope this isn't the end of the line.
I don't think it will be. I think this line's going somewhat strong because we're getting friggin' Super Shadow already, which is insane, by the way. Would not have ever guessed that we would get a Sonic Adventure 2 inspired set, though it makes sense. We're going to be getting the movie.
The movie, Shadow Generation, Sonic Adventure 2 is a very hot topic right now.
Yes. It makes sense, but at the same time, seeing BioLizard in Lego form is still throwing me off. I had this whole thing about like BioLizard's making a fucking comeback this year because like I know he's important, but for me it was always this really obscure boss that nobody really talked about, at least from what I remember. Everyone's like, "Oh, Chaos."
I mean,
Solaris.
it's not like it was a character or anything.
No,
it was just
a big dumb potato looking thing.
Yeah,
so
it's just a lab experiment.
People like Sonic Adventure 2 or remember the final boss because of Sonic and Shadow. Like and the music. That's what it is, pure and simple. But it is still really awesome to get this. Again, another chance to get Super Sonic. Little nitpick, I wish he had a different face. It's the exact same face that comes on the I just want like a neutral frown or something. He's always like, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's Super Sonic, but want to see something else. But Super Shadow,
he's
awesome.
Singing. He's singing the whole time. He's singing.
He's going,
I learn?
Can you feel? Yes, the other set is cool though. I don't. I mean, it's a nice cheap way to get Sonic and
it's a pissed off Sonic too.
Yeah.
So
he's really upset. That's really cool. And the buildable mechs in the set look really fun too. They actually specifically remind me of the Adventure 2 mechs because there's like weird Gundam-ass mechs in that game.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
I don't know if that's where they're getting them from, but I did think, I also just recently replayed City Escape, so I remember there's like weird ass Gundam mechs in that game. Yes, and then so that was pretty awesome. You know, those are great.
They put out a new trailer for Shadow Generations.
Yes.
We get a lot of cool stuff. We get some juicy cutscenes. Mephiles. We got Mephiles up in this shit. I just grabbed a screenshot of him because he looks cool.
There's Mephiles. There's a guy we know. Obviously, he's fighting Black Doom in the game. Obviously, he has some crazy fucking dark hell form, which is awesome. Metal Sonic.
I wonder if, because Black Doom seems to be the antagonist of the story. I wonder if Black Doom is actually the antagonist of the story, or if something else is doing this to Shadow, and Black Doom is just the most prominent threat in what's happening.
Maybe. I'm not sure, because how is this going to tie with the main generation story?
They did say it would.
Yes, but all we really know is that Shadow... All that happens is that Shadow shows up at the end of Generation and goes, "You got this, Sonic." That's all he does.
I wonder if they're going to change the end of Generations.
I would be down for that. I honestly never really liked that final boss. I thought it was cool, but I would like to see a little bit more with that. So if they go crazier with the ending, if they remix it a bit... Well, I know for a fact that they are 2 separate game modes. Like, specifically... Yeah, so I don't know how that would work, unless maybe you... get to the end of Generations and they say, "Oh, go play Shadow," and you're like, "What? Huh?" They could do that. Kind of like what they used to do back in the old games, where they'd be like, "Play this campaign, then play this campaign." You get the one big campaign or final.
It would be cool if they maybe Shadow Generations has a Shadow POV of the ending, and then they updated the Generations ending to include Shadow. Something.
I would love that. It almost, unfortunately, because Shadow Generations is getting all this work. Original Generation is kind of getting left in the dust, which does hurt me.
It is making Generations look dated.
bad.
Yeah.
Not, plain and simple. Because Shadow gets this big open world, like walk around area.
World,
So
whereas
Generations
is
is
a blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. And look, I swear on God, Sonic Generation one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. But if they just remade the whole game like Shadow Generations, then I'd be like, yes, please. But at the same time, if I have to pay, what is it like? What is it? Is it like $60 or something? It's probably more. It's probably
60,
80 or something.
like $60.
Okay, so it's 60 for you guys, and it's probably 80 for us. Gotcha. $80. Yeah, totally. That's totally worth it. I don't have a problem paying that price tag at all. You're getting basically two. I don't think Shadow Generations will be super long. I can't see it being like more than like 10 hours or something.
It does seem dense though.
Yes, there's lots of it very much reminds me of the Mario 3 Bowser's Fury mode, which is this is more than that ever was.
Yeah.
But that is a whole ass mode with a completely different type of gameplay that is like open world, and it's like it is very similar situation, which is interesting, but totally fine with that. It looks incredible. We haven't really gotten to talk about it on the podcast very much, so it's nice actually finally getting to able to talk about it. But yeah, I'm hyped as shit.
It's still coming up, so.
Yes. Soon, coming up next
speaking
month.
of which, it's getting a movie DLC with Keanu Reeves coming in to voice Shadow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I hope it means because with Frontiers and with Superstars, they've done skins now. So I hope that this will allow you to play as movie Sonic in the main Generations and movie Shadow in the main story. Give us skin options. That'd be cool.
Yes, that would be nice.
But it also does seem to be its own little DLC pack that has its own story missions just based on sort of stuff that happens in the movie. It's
coming out December 12th or something like that. So it's before the movie.
No, it's December 20th. The DLC, sorry, yes.
Yes, the DLC's coming out earlier, and I'm a little interested about that. But as long as it doesn't spoil anything in the movie, then I'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more loosely inspired than anything else.
Yeah, for sure.
But very cool. So that's fun. And then we also got the first episode of Shadow the Hedgehog Dark Origins, which just gorgeously animated. We need a Sonic show that looks like this so badly. This is
redemption. This is redemption for Sonic X is what this is.
It is. The voice acting is great. The action looks so cool. The visuals are fantastic. We get this beautiful shot at the end where he looks up at the sky and you see the destroyed moon.
Yeah.
And the space colony arc.
Yes.
Just gorgeous. So cool.
Man.
It
was really really dope.
Emerald is a character in it.
Which just didn't know I knew he was in Sonic Rush Battle or some shit like that.
I think so.
Yeah, one of the fighting games. And I've always known of that character design. I always been, he looks cool. Getting him just randomly in this and with a cool fight scene. Yeah. I mean, you won me over. Give me a figure right now.
This also fully canonizes that game because part of that game's story is Gerald found this robot. He inspired, the Project Shadow. He took sort of cues from that. And then he was locked away, and then he was eventually found and awakened and dies at the end of that game. So
that's really interesting. Yeah. I will say, too, aside from just the actual episode, I saw a trailer for it during the presentation. There's some good shit coming up. I saw, Omega sliding around, blasting people. I'm like, okay. You put Omega in anything? Oh, man. I'm a sucker for the robots. Just give me the cool robots. That's always what wins me over. That's why I'm hoping a certain robot is in Sonic 3, because I would shit my effing pants.
I hope we get to see, maybe Mephiles, maybe Infinite. I'd be down to see Infinite looking pretty sick in this animation style.
Yes.
We just need more. We need more.
We do. It's truly the year of Shadow, which is crazy because they're going real hard with Shadow this year. Which
we get
he
2 more
definitely
episodes, and then or Generations releases, and then the movie releases.
I should clear something up about. They say. So we were talking about the PlayStation version, and I want to clear something up. They said specifically that there's deleted scenes for the anime, for the show, not for the game. That's what it is. So it's not scenes for the game, which is interesting.
Okay.
I don't know why that wouldn't be on the Xbox version too. I have no idea. That's very confusing. But
and I mean, this anime does seem directly tied to the plot of Shadow's story, so
yes.
You know,
it's a very bizarre, but they say specifically deleted scenes, so I don't know if it's like extra deleted scenes. So I don't know if it's like important story stuff, but it is at the very least just extra content, which is cool.
Yeah, it might just be some like character stuff that didn't cut.
I'll definitely get it on PlayStation for sure. Either way, though, so that's
absolutely.
Nothing worried about that.
It's just, man, all the Shadow stuff. All the Shadow
good time
stuff,
to be a Sonic fan. Good time to be a Shadow fan. Let's just say that. Very good time to be a Shadow fan.
Yeah. It's just so good, so juicy, so delicious. Yes. Speaking of juicy and delicious, you know what time it is.
Oh, there they are. Your shelf is barren, man. It's really sad.
Yeah. Look at.
I was trying to sell a bunch of stuff right now.
It's time.
They're kissing. So we both went to go see Transformers 1 this week. I saw it on Thursday, and Ty saw it today. That's why we weren't going to record today, but things changed, so now we're recording proper time. We're actually recording very late, but that's okay, because that's why no one else is on. But yeah, what do you think? What'd you think, Ty? What'd you think about the movie, man?
So fucking good.
I was telling you.
Fucking good. Oh my god.
Yeah, what I think, just bottom line, what really works about this movie is that it knows what it's trying to do, and it does it very well. And then they aren't trying to do anything extra. They aren't trying to like subvert your they're not trying to blow your mind. They're just trying to tell a really solid story. Yeah. And I think that's what it does a really good job at that.
They're not dumbing anything down. They're not holding any punches. They're not trying to make the kiddies giggle every 10 seconds. They're just trying to tell a good, lighthearted at first, but then gets very heavy, character-driven story.
Yes. It really does. It really does start off like, oh, it's a fun adventure, and then by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, people are dying.
They're gonna join the race, and they're gonna prove that they can make a difference, and then, oh.
Which, you know what? That's what Transformers is. It's always been about war and like maiming each other. Yeah. So it's like, you know what? Good. Very glad that they allowed the movie to be. I'm so glad they didn't dumb it down. I'm so glad it wasn't for children, because like that would have completely just like it would have ruined the experience. I think
it's not baby time.
I almost feel like I could see some people maybe even being like, you gotta be a little bit funnier, and they're like, no, trust us, no.
Nope.
Very happy about that. Could have easily been a misstep.
Every time it gets heavy, they let it just weigh on you. And
it's good.
They let it weigh on the characters especially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where do we even start, man? How do we even go about this? Because there's so much.
There is so much. We're introduced to the status quo of Cybertron. We are in, what's the city's name? Do you remember? Iacon City.
Yes.
We're introduced to Orion Pax and D16.
Yeah, I D16? Honestly, the numbers always got. I think it was D16. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. They're minors. They're brothers in arms.
They're minors. They're underage.
That line they throw minor around a lot in the movie, and it's really funny. And modern day
miners. It's fucking great.
RC runs up. Miners, there's miners in the race.
It's really funny.
Yes, unintentionally so.
That fucking gag where he's like, "Oh yeah, watch this." He goes,
yeah. That was great. Again, that joke did get spoiled for me, so I saw it a couple times before the movie. But it's a good joke.
They do it again when they're on the train and they're all watching the shit come. Yeah. And just B is like, he just flips backwards and runs away.
Yeah, he runs and it holds on it for a while too. Like he's booking for it. He's booking it.
Well, they're like, oh.
I love how everything unfolded. It made sense. Good. I like all the characters. I like how D kind of starts off as like the working man. You know, he's like the honest working man. And then when he finds out,
he's very by the book. He's just, like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And then when he finds out, he's still like, none of this shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have known this. This is fucked up.
Yeah. And he gets real mad. Real quick.
So
obviously, spoilers, by the way, for anyone listening.
Spoilers.
Obviously.
Orion packs his Optimus Prime, and the other guy is Megatron.
The other guy is Megatron. Who the guessed?
So they go, they partake. Well, so they have a mining operation. Jazz I thought they were gonna kill Jazz in the first movie, like they did in the Bay movies. I was like, no, not Jazz. They say him by name. I was like, no, don't kill him. They rip his leg off, but he survives.
I was like, oh my god. It's like his leg's just gone. I don't think they never addressed that again, which is like he just loses a leg and then it's like, okay.
He loses a leg, and then he shows up at the end where he's like, or he's all right. Oh my god.
Yes.
So that happens. They get Alita 1 fired. She's pissed at them.
Then
Alita's great. Like, whatever. And then they go and there's an announcement from Sentinel Prime. Super cool design, by the way. I hope Yolo Park makes a figure of him because he just straight up looks like a Gundam. It's crazy looking.
Yes.
He looks like one of those Transformers from like Japan that are like super crazy, like all this stuff on them.
I like how all the primes have gold on them too. It's just a really superficial thing that makes you go like, "Oh, they're important," you know.
It's totally like
it helps.
Toa vibes for sure.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like it's a goddamn Bionicle movie in the modern day and age.
So they partake in. He announces that there's going to be a race because he just got back and we're going to celebrate. They're like, Orion's like, we'll make a difference and we're going to get in that race. And D's like, no, that's stupid. And so Orion tricks him in it. They fucking almost die like several times.
Yeah, multiple times. It's a deadly race. People are just dying in this race.
They crash at the finish line. They're like, oh, second place is still good. And then everyone flies by them.
Yeah.
They get sent to Ratchet's clinic. And
we were gonna see him, but we didn't.
Yeah, I wish we did. Arachnia and Sentinel.
She's cool.
She is cool. Fucking when she does the thing where she goes.
That
was fucked up. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But Sentinel's like, hey, you guys are great, and then he leaves. And
he's like, you guys should come to me, and then
come to my penthouse or whatever, and then just leaves, and then he definitely told Darkwing to throw them.
Oh, absolutely,
100%.
Darkwing came up and he's like, you guys, Darkwing's
miners.
Darkwing's a dick in this movie. All he does is
fucking weird.
He's so angry the entire movie. He's like punching people in the face even before then. Like he's such an asshole.
He's just a dick. He throws them in the bottom level where they find B.
Yeah.
B's
insane.
Loony. They find a secret message, leads to where the Allspark is. They leave. They get trapped on a train with Alita. They go. They find where I'm gonna speed up a little bit because we don't need an exact play-by-play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they go. They find where the Primes died. It's revealed that Sentinel's a liar and is a traitor and sold them out to the... Is just giving away all their energon.
Yeah. To the goddamn, what are they called?
To the Quintessons.
Yes.
D does not take it very well.
No, he does not.
When he's like, we need to stop him, and he's like, I want to kill him.
Yeah.
He's like,
No,
whoa.
really. He took it from like 1 to
He's
100
like,
real fast.
I want to drag him through the streets, and I want everyone to see what he's done, and I want him to rot in hell.
Yeah, he's getting really
Jesus,
upset.
all right. Also, there's
Getting
a great
real
joke
upset.
where Optimus is like, "Hey, Darkwing, I'll show you how to transform." He goes,
Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised if they just had him show the finger. Like I would not. This is the tone of the movie, man. Yeah.
So then that happens. They get cogs. They level up.
Yeah.
They have their fun, sequence where they start to learn how to transform.
Yes. The chase scene.
Just slowly start to see how Megatron is descending. Sentinel murders. What's his name? The surviving.
I don't know. I don't know what
forgot
his name was.
I had it.
Not Alpha, isn't it?
Alpha.
No.
Alpha Trion. Yep.
Is it? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
it is.
it's Alpha Trion. Pretty sure.
Megatronus is not him. Gotcha.
No, Megatronus is the one with the Decepticon logo for a face.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. He also
Alpha
did have a Alpha did have like a weird like face, but Alpha
he has
does.
he has like a beard and then like horns.
Right. I love Alpha's design, by the way. Fantastic. Oh
Turns
my
into
god,
a
he's got
crazy, like panther.
a cape, and he gives me
does.
old wizard vibes, and he starts fucking the guys up in the cave. That was
starts fucking the
awesome.
guys. Just starts
Yeah.
fucking them.
He starts butt fucking them in the cave. No, but then he turns
Bites
into like
the
a
one guy in
panther.
half.
Yeah, that was
sick.
awesome. It's a shame
That
that
was
he
so cool.
died like right after.
Yeah, he gets freaking murked.
I love his big X-Acto knife sword. He comes up with.
The shot. Oh man, the shot when he's got the sword to his throat and you see his face in the reflection. So
Yeah.
cool. It's just beautiful. I love that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
And it's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I like how they cut away instead of showing it. It's just it's. I mean, they get pretty violent in this movie, but it's a nice little decision to be like, oh, he's just a horrible asshole.
He's a horrible asshole, but Alpha Trion gets some respect. We don't watch him get dismembered.
I mean, because we already saw everyone else get murdered, so we didn't need to see him kill Alpha, which is totally fine with me. And then they run into the boys, right?
They run into the what is it? The
High Guard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the High Guard, led by Starscream,
Yep.
played by
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
I was
Fucking great.
I was sitting in the theater and I was like, "Is that Steve Buscemi?" And I was like, well, I don't know. And I didn't see his name during the credits. So then I was like, and then Ty looked it up and was like, "Oh yeah, it's Steve Buscemi." And I was like, "That's awesome." Didn't expect
They
that.
do a thing where Megatron fucks up his voice.
Yes.
Doesn't even need to do that. Like he just sounds
I
goofy
think
enough as
they
it is.
did that. I think they did that in case Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
he's
in
old.
case he doesn't want to come back. Makes sense.
Or yeah, like it makes
He's not
sense.
that old. He's like 60.
Okay, well, I was listening. I was like, if that is Steve Buscemi, he's got a little bit more grit in his voice,
Yeah, we meet Starscream,
Soundwave,
we meet Shockwave. All three were great. I loved them all. Soundwave is exactly Soundwave, just to a T.
Yep.
Shockwave is fun. He's got a little bit more. He does have a little more personality. I think you gave him too much credit when you were describing it.
True.
The most personal he gets is when he's like, "Oh, she punched me in my eye."
Yeah, he gets really offended by that.
But they're all great. Megatron, D, flips his shit.
Oh yeah. I was really scared he was gonna
just
kill Starscream. I was like,
beaten-
don't do it.
Yeah, he's just beating the ever-loving hell out of Starscream. His gun comes out. For one,
That was awesome.
hold on. Why is that such a big deal? His gun comes out of his arm and everyone's like, But like, I mean, he turned into a tank earlier. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know. Did he not? I didn't notice that he had the gun earlier. I thought that was the first time he got it.
He turned into a tank, but that was the first time where the big black cannon came out.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember he's really mad. I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
no,
Optimus,
it was.
Or Orion,
of course.
Like, how dare you?
Yeah. It was a cool moment. I mean, it's a gun of pure rage is what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
his
just
eyes start to turn orange.
yeah.
well.
They get darker throughout the movie, which is really cool.
Yeah. And then so he's like, you know, fuck your leader. You're all cowards. Who wants to go murder this bitch ass with me?
Come with me.
And then
hell
immediately they get attacked and everyone gets taken away.
Yes.
So then we're just left with Starscream gets taken. We're left and B. And we're left with Alita, Optimus, Soundwave, Shockwave.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and D. D gets taken too.
Well, yeah, D.
Wow.
He gets taken,
Yeah.
and they get brought to Sentinel. While Orion and Alita make a plan. Alita hijacks a train. Orion goes to get the miners.
He has to grab the miners.
We get a scene with Optimus talking to Jazz and to RC, and Sideswipe, my boy. So that was really fun. And he recruits the miners. Megatron D has some great moments where he stands up to Sentinel, gets beat down on. He like burns the Megatronus symbol into his chest with like just a sloppy weld job. Like, not a tattoo artist, I'm gonna say.
That was a little interesting. He's like, "Are you always you love your hero so much?
Why don't you marry him?"
It's a little odd. I was a little bit like, "Hey, I get it."
Well,
it's kind of
he is like an incel though, so I get it. You know.
Yeah, you could have totally just had him. I don't know. You could have totally just have him make his own mark because he's.
Well, he does. He does at the very end.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. But that scene was really visceral when he stands up. I was like, oh my god. Like, he's like breathing heavy, and it's like, oh my god. Like, he's insane.
He stands back up, and then the train flies in, and all hell breaks out.
Oh yeah.
They start fighting. Orion leads everyone in, and they rescue all the prisoners. And then Orion, D, B, and Alita sort of regroup. While Sentinel goes full Gundam mode.
Oh yeah.
He's got missiles flying everywhere. He's got flamethrowers and shit. He's just like just all out.
Yes.
Without talking to D at all, by the way. I'm surprised he didn't mention it. Orion makes a plan with Alita and B, and they all just leave him. They just leave him. They ditch his ass. Yeah. I was totally expecting him to be like, "You left me, you asshole." So D and Sentinel fight. Well, they go to spread the message with the spider lady who does the freaky head thing.
Yes.
They get the message out. Everybody's pissed. Sentinel has nothing left to lose.
Yeah, because Sentinel's a moron who just says the most evil, generic shit in front of everyone. Like, I don't care about anyone.
The fucking obvious bad guy gloating that always backfires.
Oh, yeah. Let's be real, he is not a twist villain. The moment you see his ass, he's like, he's the fucking bad guy. Come on now.
Yeah. It's very like, alright. You're the pretty boy asshole.
This movie isn't really gonna shock you in any way. You're gonna go in being like, all right, this guy's the bad guy. He's gonna piss off Megatron. But like, they do things in a good way. But still, you're not gonna be sitting there going like, how is this gonna happen? Like, pretty obvious.
I wonder what the political intrigue of this
Megatron going to go evil in this film, or will he be not evil?
Or maybe is Optimus Prime the asshole? Arguably.
Yeah. He's got some moments of assholeish. Yeah.
So they fight. Megatron fucking tackles Sentinel off the balcony.
Yeah.
And they just fall. Megatron's about to kill him, but Optimus gets in the way. Then he gets in the way again. Then he gets shot and killed. And then he falls into a hole. And my dad said, it's not a Transformers movie unless Optimus Prime dies.
Yeah. He's got to die. Well, he wasn't Optimus Prime yet.
I know. That's what I said. I was like, well, Orion
Well,
Pax died.
Yeah. Optimus never died.
So, Megatron, or D, he's like, I'm done saving you, and his eyes go fully red, and he drops him.
Oh, yeah. Evil villain.
Proceeds to murder the shit out of Sentinel. He just rips him in half.
That was cool. I like that.
That was sick. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And then he does what Optimus, or what Orion said, where he's like, don't be like him, and he takes his cog and replaces his own, and he levels up. Whereas at the very same time, it's like a montage cutting back and forth where Orion falls to the center of the planet, gets the Matrix of Leadership, he levels up, flies out, busts through, he's back from the dead, it's the second coming, he's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was very Jesus moment for sure.
And then they just start beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And, Meg's he just can't keep up in the end, and he loses. And he
just basically says, fuck off, go away.
Yeah, he's like, you're an asshole. I loved you.
You were my brother.
Get out of here.
My brother D.
And,
he's like,
unlike Obi-Wan, D gets to walk away, or Megatron gets to walk away.
Now it's, yeah.
So then we end with Optimus Prime leading the city.
Yeah. Icon.
Name again. Icon City. It's like Icon.
I don't know how I remember, honestly. That's a thing I would forget, but I remember.
Icon. But so we end with the Autobots on top, which makes me think, a little speculation. We'll talk about the rest of it in a second. Which makes me think that the next movie is going to be kind of like an Empire Strikes Back, where the Decepticons get on top. Because I've always known the Autobots as the underdogs. So I think there'll be a role reversal at some point. But that's the movie. Then we get a post-credit scene where B murders his fake friends.
Yes.
And then we get another post-credit scene where Megatron is insane. I
didn't stay for the second post-credit scene because I didn't know if there was gonna be one. It was late. I want to go home.
My foolish friend. Every time I watch a movie now, I always search on Google at the end, is there a post-credit scene? And
I know. I was just worried about getting a ride. It was late, so I was trying to figure that shit out. But I will say, I know what it is. I've looked it up. I haven't seen it, but I read it, And I will say, it's a little weird. Like, I get what they're going for, and there's some good ideas in it, but also I feel like Megatron being like, they deceived us. Now we will be the Decepticons. It's a little awkward. I don't really I mean, get it.
They're called the Decepticons. You're
I know,
gonna have to make a leap just to get that name.
Look, man, we didn't need it in the movie. You could have just cut to the next movie.
It's the origin story of Optimus and Megatron. It has to happen.
Does he say Autobots? In
the
movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they do. They do at the very end. Yeah.
Where all can be Autobots. We are the Autobots. He says like 2 or 3 times at the very end.
Right. You're right. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. It was just... I get it. It was just kind of one of those things where I kind of wish they just waited.
At least Megatron has a reason for his name. Autobots just comes out of nowhere.
True. Yeah, it's like, we are the Autobots. And it's like, what? Alright,
Yeah.
I guess that's what we are. I get it. Yeah, great movie. I was really sad when it ended. I didn't want it to end. I was like,
watch it again right now.
Yeah, it was something special. It was everything I wanted for a really long time. I know Ty can vouch. We've been waiting for this movie for a very long time. Just no human bullshit. Just straight Transformers, living in a Transformers world. doing their own Transformer thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
And
There
just,
was.
just hating each
And
other,
it's
hating
character
life.
focused. They're no longer set pieces. They're no longer big action mechs. They are characters with emotions and feelings, and it's just something that the live action movies have never been able to do for me. They are not
There's there's no fucking human romance subplot bullshit. There's no like fucking Romeo and Juliet law. Let me fuck your daughter. There's no fucking Shia LaBeouf going Optimus.
That's right. You're right about that.
It's
really solid.
just good. It's just really good.
It's really solid. I think that's the best way to describe this movie. It's a solid ass movie. It does not. There's nothing I can really say that I hated about the movie. I didn't hate anything. I thoroughly enjoyed it through and through.
Yeah, it is.
I have little tiny nitpicks, but those are like bare none compared to everything else in the movie. And those nitpicks aren't anything that affects it at all overall.
It is a great Transformers movie, but beyond that, it is a great kids movie. And beyond that, it is just a great movie.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I'd be bringing my young kids to this, but I would make.
Hell yeah! No. I was a wee little boy when I watched Optimus Prime get fucking murdered and die in front of me.
you had it rough.
I watched how many Disney movies or Pixar movies where people just die, just always getting murdered.
True.
Kids need this. Gen Z. We're Gen Z. Fucking whatever the fuck. The little
Alpha and Omega.
Skibbity toilet losers. They need this. They need to
need
be sad.
they need to watch some death on screen. Is what they need.
They need more murder in their lives so that they can feel things and not be baby brain idiots.
It's true. Why I'm on the cusp of it. I didn't get enough death in my life apparently. Yeah,
you weren't forged into a jaded individual.
It's true. Yeah, it was I really loved it. I thought it was I was thoroughly enjoying. There were multiple jokes where I had, by the way, side note, my theater was completely empty.
So was mine.
That's a bummer in
This
both
movie
scenarios.
Is not getting the attention that it deserves.
Which is really sad. I am worried. Lay said they approved a sequel already, so
the sequel is greenlit, which is good.
I want a trilogy.
And it's still gonna be released. The release schedule for this movie is ass.
Yeah, it's horrible. Hasbro's doing such a bad job at marketing. Well, not marketing because I got 20 ads on one Bionicle video for it, so they're not doing a bad job marketing it. But clearly they don't know how to. The
rollout is very strange.
Yeah, Lay's not gonna get to see it till next month, which is ridiculous.
It doesn't even release in China till next month.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And China is where this movie would do probably the best. Let's be real here. China loves their giant robots. All the Transformers movies make shit tons of money over there. So,
yeah, it's
I know there's
half
no
of
humans.
the countries that it's going to release in hasn't released in yet.
It's really unfortunate because it's really going to affect this movie.
Hit Australia fucking late August.
Yeah, it's weird.
So bizarre.
I don't get it. But it's
maybe that was Chris Hemsworth being like, my country first.
He's biased.
He is. 100%.
Chris Hemsworth did great in this movie, by the way. I was shocked how well he did. I was expecting
Chris Hemsworth
it to
was
be
great.
cheesy.
Brian Tyree Henry was great.
Oh,
Scarlett
yeah.
Johansson was great.
Yeah.
Michael Key was great.
Everyone was great.
Everyone was great.
John Hamm as Sentinel, just an asshole. You just hate him the whole time.
He started sounding like Nathan Fillion at a point. I was like, is that Nathan Fillion?
I was really he had a very distinct voice, and I was like, who is that? I found out later that he was John Hamm.
Which I found out in the credits. But when he starts getting hysterical, that's when he started sounding like Nathan Fillion.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was cool. Great cast. I don't know who played Shockwave or Soundwave, but I mean, Soundwave doesn't really matter because it doesn't really have to.
Speaks like twice.
But yeah, and he's got the most Soundwave voice you could ever imagine. But
and then Lawrence Fishburne played.
Oh,
Alpha Trion.
That makes
Which
so
just-
much sense.
Iconic voice.
Yeah. No, if it like that makes perfect sense. That fits. I like that a lot. Oh man, there's so much you can do. Like I want a trilogy really badly.
Please, yeah.
I would kill for a prequel movie focused on the Primes. That would
That'd
be
sick.
fantastic.
Or like a fucking make a show on Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Coward, you won't.
You won't. Your budget won't allow you to do it.
Yeah, I was already on the car ride home. I was already speculating about like a second movie and a third movie.
Yeah.
And so my working theory is the third movie is like a retelling of the original movie, but Optimus doesn't die. He's the main character throughout. Megatron dies, probably killed by Optimus. Then comes back as Galvatron. Gets to the end of the movie. You've seen the original.
Yeah. You're talking about the 80s movie. That's what
Yes.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Unicron's like the main villain. Galvatron comes back, and then it ends with, because if you're gonna do a trilogy, if you're gonna round out the story, you want it to be poetry. So I'm thinking Galvatron gets redeemed and rejoins Optimus, and then they work together to take down Unicron. That's my working
Interesting.
theory.
That's interesting. I always assumed the third movie would have ended with them having to leave Cybertron. That's always what I assumed. Like the planet would just be blown up.
That makes sense in the context of not finishing the story, but if you're going to tell a bookended, so
Right.
what I was saying is, if you're just going to tell Transformers, that's what you do. If you're going to conclude a story, you either have it where one of them dies, or they come back together as friends at the very end.
Right. I just don't know if they would be comfortable doing that because the Transformers canon is that they're always enemies and that they're always fighting and they're on Earth or whatever. Right. That's the canon.
Yeah. But
that's what it is.
We've seen that a dozen
quo.
times, So if
No, you're right.
My thought is, if you're gonna tell a full, complete story, that's the way you go.
I'd be okay with that. I want them to make
Plus,
their own decisions. I want them
after
to
a
do their
third movie, they could reboot again or do another live
Right.
action movie. Or fucking
They'll
whatever.
do, yes.
Plus,
probably
if we're gonna have G.I. Joe Transformers live action movies, we don't need to ever go to Earth in these animated movies.
True.
So I don't want to see shitty CGI Earth with ugly ass humans.
Oh yeah. Sure, they would look really scary.
They would.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could make them look good, but I don't want that. For the love of God.
I know.
CGI.
Well, that's
Shia LaBeouf.
why I assumed the last movie would be them. Like, we need to leave. We need to go to Earth. Like, that would be the end of the movie.
That's what I assume will happen. I
Yeah.
would like a real conclusion to the story.
I agree. I totally agree too. But yeah, it'll probably be that. But regardless, we can live.
Yeah, it just does make sense to me for them to come back as friends because this movie is so deeply about their friendship.
Yeah. Either way, they're going to be major characters through all of them. Like, they have to be. I want to see a lot more Starscream in a second movie. Because I'm biased and I love Starscream.
More Starscream. I want Elita and B to remain, like Optimus, Elita, B to remain your core heroes.
Yes.
Oh!
I will. No, sorry. I had an epiphany. I just realized this. They really set up the Quintessons in this movie. They don't really do anything with them.
I totally thought that the Quintesson Judge was going to come out of that ship. I really thought so.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think it's like a weird reinterpretation of it because it's it doesn't have the multiple heads.
It's not the Quintesson Judge, definitely not.
No, but he's got like the basic shape is kind of there, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird. No, that is one thing that was a little bit like, oh, they didn't do anything with it. Like because they had a whole introduction scene and everything. There's like a whole ass scene where they are introduced and then they just aren't in the end of the movie at all. Like I at least expected them to maybe show up during the fight, but that would have been a little cramped. It wasn't about that. It should have been I like that direction. It was more focused.
I could see it being something like second movie.
Oh yeah.
The Autobots go to war with the Quintessons, and then the war ends, and the Autobots are weak, and then Megatron steps up to take over.
Oh, I totally think what's going to end up happening is, Megatron's probably going to be like, oh, we can take their shit now, and we can use it because they're weak, and we can mess them up, and we can take over Iacon and turn it.
And then I could totally see in the third movie the Quintesson homeworld getting eaten by Unicron.
Yeah, that just gets rid of them altogether. Then you don't have to deal with them no more.
Yeah.
So I was worried it was going to be goddamn Quintessa. That's what I was worried about.
That would be, though, an interesting way to have them as a through line throughout the story.
Yeah, which I think they could
war
be.
With them and then have them get eradicated.
Because they're cool. I like them a lot. They're like weird bugmen.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe we'll get to see, in later movies like the Sharkticons and the Piranha robots and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, I think if anything, in the sequel, will probably be introduced to the Dinobots too. They'll probably show up at some point.
Yeah, I'd be okay with the Dinobots so long as the buck stops there. I don't want to ever see the fucking other ones, the animal Transformers.
Oh, the Beast Wars guys.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I don't ever want to see them in this.
Really?
We've got them in the live action movies.
That's fair.
Keep them far. I don't like them.
I didn't know you had such a hatred towards the Maximals.
They
man.
look like ass. They always do.
They
They're
always
fine
look
in the
weird.
new movie, but
Yeah, they're still weird.
keep them
It's
out
still
of here.
It's just a weird
Plus-
concept to be like, yeah.
They brought him into the third season of the Netflix show, and I never watched that, and I never will because it's ass, and they look like ass.
Yeah.
So just
Lay's cringing. Lay's gripping his fist right now, and he's like, "I love the Maximals, mate. Fucking hell."
Fucking Maximals suck. Maximals suck my dick.
And the Predacons. Yeah,
Even worse, they suck my asshole.
I don't think they would do them because they're always kind of a separate thing, anyways. Like they're always their own weird thing. Because as far as I know, they're just normal guys who go to Earth and then become animal people. So I think beforehand they are just normal robots. So if anything, they would just be normal background characters in this movie.
I don't ever want them to show up. But
I don't want them.
if we're sticking with the theme of the third movie being like a retelling of the original movie, yeah, get Grimlock in there, get the Dinobots.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
Blur is in the race, so I'd love to have Blur show up. Fast talking little wisecracking asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, I want more Sideswipe in the next movie because he's my favorite for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about his character, but his design is peak.
You just like his design. Yes. That's fair. That's fair, man.
Yeah, so good. Just a great movie.
Great movie. If you have any interest in Transformers whatsoever, please go support it. I don't care if your theater is dead ass empty. Please go watch it. Because
if you have interest in good movies, good animation, good character design, Chris Hemsworth, Bionicle. If you're a Bionicle fan,
you will love this
one,
movie.
You're wasting your life. For two, go watch this fucking movie because this is the most Bionicle-ass thing you're ever gonna get for the rest of your life.
This is a modern HD remake of Legends of Metro Nui, and you can't tell me
Bionicle if it mattered.
Jesus.
You know I'm right. Bionicle does not matter to anyone other than the people clinging on for dear life.
He's out for blood tonight.
I'm just saying, man. All right, thank you everybody so much for joining. We are the All Things Geek Podcast.
Thank you, Tyler.
We got to see this movie and have a good conversation about it.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts. What would you rate the movie?
Oh, out of 10?
Fucking out of anything. Out of anything.
All right, I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna give it. 4 out of 5 badassatrons.
Badassatron.
Is what I'm gonna give it.
I'll give it. I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10 Shia LaBeoufs.
There you go. You, who is not in this movie, by the way. Do not think Shia LaBeouf is in this movie.
Anyway, bye bye everybody.
Bye, guys.